Star Wars voice, somewhat limited power. I don't know, when you say Star Wars voice, what do you mean? Like, am I doing like a Darth Vader voice? Like, what's the, you know? Which Star Wars voice exactly? Like Palpatine? Oh. How do I do a Palpatine voice? Mr. Papa. I'm trying to. So I did. I recently rewatched the prequels. I'm trying to think about how to do a Palpatine voice. I don't think I have that in me. Give me 3 to 5 working days, and I'll work on my Palpatine voice. Mr. PayPal. Mr. PayPal. Wow. Yeah, I am on kind of a Star Wars thing at the moment. So I rewatched the prequels. I'm watching season 2 of Andor at the moment. And then I think I'll rewatch Rogue One and rewatch the original trilogy. And rewatch the new trilogy, but pretend that Rise of Skywalker doesn't exist. Yeah, I haven't watched the prequels since I was a kid, and it's quite interesting to watch as an adult, like, and analyze, like, the politics of Star Wars. I do think Andor and Rogue One are, like, the best of all Star Wars. I wish more of it just was like that. Like, I don't think that I could ever be, like, a very intensely a Star Wars girly, but I am, like, a casual Star Wars enjoyer, and I do think, like, there's some good and interesting stuff politically to a degree. Caitlin and I did a rewatch a few years ago and came away feeling that the OG trilogy is not great. I thought it was... I think I like it more than some people, but I think that it does hold a lot of nostalgia for me. I remember watching, like, Revenge of the Sith in the cinema and everything, but I think that it has some quite interesting stuff going on in terms of, like, the descent of the... Well, I mean, firstly, the Galactic Republic is kind of depicted as, like, a neoliberal democracy with all the trappings of neoliberal democracy. Like, it's really stark to me that the Old Republic kind of knows that there's, like, slavery happening on planets in the Outer Rim, like Tatooine, and they're kind of like, whoop, not my problem. And also, like, planets within its jurisdiction, like, particularly in the Phantom Menace. I feel like the Phantom Menace sets up some interesting stuff that they never really, like, follow through with. Within their jurisdiction, Naboo, it gets, like, invaded and occupied by the Trade Federation, and the Republic are just like, we're gonna put it to a committee, and we're going to invest, like, do a commission that's gonna investigate it, and that's, like, the critique of the Old Republic, I think, in the prequels is quite interesting, but I actually think that they set up stuff in the Phantom Menace that they don't really follow through on in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, like, Anakin, like, when Qui-Gon Jinn is like, oh, I want to take this kid away because I think that he's, like, force sensitive and he's going to be the chosen one, as in Anakin Skywalker, and then Anakin Skywalker is like, cool, so you're gonna free me from slavery. Can we free all the slaves? Because slavery is bad. Qui-Gon Jinn is like, I'm not really interested in ending slavery. So... it's, yeah. There's the prequels, I think, have some interesting things going on, and I like them more than a lot of people do. I'd give them some more credit. Oh, the original 3, 4 to 6. Okay, gotcha. I haven't watched the original 3 in a long time, so I'm interested to see what I think of them. I'm somewhat of a defender of the prequels. Yeah. Not you, Attack of the Clones. Yeah, Attack of the Clones is the worst one of the 3, I think, for sure. George Lucas shouldn't have gotten divorced and then they'd be better. Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah. I think in a lot of ways the Phantom Menace kind of is the best one politically, and then Revenge of the Sith is pretty great. Maybe it's the best one of the three, even though the politics aren't as good as the first one. The prequels are interesting. George Lucas is a very interesting guy, it's true. So yes, I have seen the interview where he says this. So George Lucas has openly said that the Galactic Empire to him is the American Empire, and the rebellion is basically like the Viet Cong. I mean, there's a huge amount of like guerrilla warfare that's being used by like the indigenous people of various planets in order to fight the Empire, which is, you know, the Viet Cong for sure, but also various other like colonial contexts, where indigenous people are like massively outnumbered and outpowered by these imperial powers, but because they know where they live, they're able to kind of like use the environment to their advantage and just be creative and actually make pretty incredible gains through guerrilla warfare. Attack of the Clones does have the line, "I hate sand, it's coarse and it gets everywhere." Yeah. It does have that line. People don't got that line, except it's literally Anakin discussing how sanded beaches are treated as a luxury to the elite, but to him it's a representation of having been enslaved, which is great. I mean, okay, you kind of ate with that, Fia. The best line in the prequels, though, is definitely... I mean, this is not a hot take. Is fucking... I know that in Revenge of the Sith, Padme kind of gets reduced to a narrative object, which is a huge shame because she's a very interesting character, even if she's kind of a lib. But she has that fucking line, "So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause." Like, she ate with that. She did eat with that, and George Lucas ate with that. It's if the prequels have one thing going for them, that's it. Okay, so we got a couple of disagreements in the chat. We've got one for the line "killing younglings," and we've got one for Misa Jar Jar Binks. Well, how could I say no to that? Okay, anyway, let's play a bit of Disco Elysium, shall we?
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
Okay, I don't know if I clicked on this before. Main Hall Building A.
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid game.
Wow. Plaisance, it's me. I'm investigating the doomed commercial area, just like we discussed.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought
There's a spot of static that overrides her words.
But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
Okay, I accidentally have stumbled upon something I was meant to be doing, so that's great. Investigating the doomed commercial area. I didn't realize that's what this was. Love the edit that someone did of the scene where Padme confronts Anakin on the Mustafar, and every time Obi-Wan appears in the background it plays Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake. Can you send me a link to that? Because that's hilarious. I want to watch that.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Andrew Orlando's hair, SCA.
You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair. Artemiteps boxing for young athletes and gym. All you hear is static, but no one.
Oh, okay. I remember that I kind of went through this before through the bookshop, and we saw that there was a gym and like all of this stuff. So, okay. This is interesting. It's all coming together. 24th window.
You ring the doorbell,
Emma's fashion atelier.
You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call.
Fabron's taxi. The rest has been burned off.
Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore.
Slipstream SCA.
You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything.
Hello, is anyone there?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
Ooh. Creepy. That's Slipstream SCA. Okay.
Have you come to place an order?
Ooh, the sound design on that is...
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
Thanks for the link, Henry. I will be watching that Star Wars meme later.
Wait, but what happened to Slipstream SCA? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list.
I will say, and this is embarrassing, I started watching Andor Season 2 and I watched like a recap video of Season 1 to catch up, and I cried just watching the recap video because, I mean, Season 1 of Andor did make me cry, like particularly the prison riot scene where they all break out of the prison. It's very good. I didn't think Star Wars would ever make me cry, but Andor is really fucking good, it has to be said. If anyone watches one piece of Star Wars media in their entire life, it has got to be Andor. And also Rogue One is great, but Andor. Look, all the prison riot fully sobbing. Yeah, it really... I was literally just watching the recap video, I was remembering that, and then I started crying, and I was like, I can't believe I'm crying to a recap video of Andor. Hold on. Tricentennial Electrics? I thought this I was calling Slipstream SCA. Hold on. Who is this? I've been inside this building, but I didn't see anyone from Tricentennial Electrics. This place is deserted. She sounds like a ghost or something, so I don't know. Maybe I should lie. Yes, I've come to place an order.
My God.
Sorry?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Oh, this is creeping me out. Okay.
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. She must be mistaking you for someone else. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Who are you? Where are you?
Michelle, just please.
She stops and you can hear her breathe heavily, her breath distorted by the ancient static.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached from your surroundings. Inside the building, a cold memory hangs.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
She sounds like she's shaking. Of course I care. It's just that I've been going through some tough time.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice.
I guess that reminds me of the premise of the game and what's happened to Harry, so...
It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry. The cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away. Somewhere inside the building, water is flooding the cellar floor.
Hello?
She doesn't answer.
You said it was nice. What's so nice about forgetting?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What just happened?
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
Alright, it's goodbye then.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
Wow, okay. That was cool. I fucking love Shivers in Inland Empire. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I had to make Inland Empire my, like, specialist stat in honor of David Lynch, of course. Fortress Accident, SCA. So, okay, so earlier when I went through and I didn't realize I was going through the haunted commercial district or whatever, I found the, like, abandoned, like, game development thing, and I mentioned in the last stream, I think, that I watched the People Make Games documentary about Zaum and all of the things that have been happening, and my commentary on that is in the last stream, but one of the things that is mentioned in that documentary is that an earlier version of Zaum was called Fortress Occident, which they partly changed because partly may have changed, don't know the reasons why, because it has kind of racist vibes. Because as I talked about before, like, Occident is the opposite of the Orient, so yeah. So that whole game development thing is called Fortress Accident, which is like a joke and a play on an earlier version of Zaum, or like an early name for Zaum as a game studio, which was Fortress Occident. So yes, it is somewhat kind of like referencing themselves or their own team, which is interesting. I know Lynch didn't make this game, says Lalan, but Elysium reminds me of the way he described Philadelphia, the city where I live and also where he went to college. A great mood. Factories, smoke, railroads, diners, the strangest characters and the darkest nights. The people had stories etched in their faces. Wow, where did he say that? That's beautiful. That's very poetic of him. But yeah, it's interesting because David Lynch's, like, most obviously Philadelphia inspired movie is Eraserhead. Like, there's a lot about Eraserhead that's like inspired by his time living in Philadelphia, and exactly as Lalan said, David Lynch went to art school in Philadelphia, but he was from, like, you know, small Midwestern towns, American suburbia, and so it was his first time living in a city and being confronted with that kind of environment in a lot of ways. And Eraserhead is like, I mean, a big part of Eraserhead is those, like, industrial environments and the factory and the railroad and, like, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I can definitely kind of see what you're saying about the environment of Elysium and how it kind of, like, invokes that in a way. I'd be really interested in, like, I mean, I know that the studio is from Estonia, so I'd be very curious to know about like the inspiration for Elysium in terms of, I mean, I'm sure there are many inspirations, but like in terms of like European cities, because I can see that connection with like Lynch's kind of depictions of Philadelphia, but I also, there's something so distinctly European about this place. Of course, like I, live in Europe, and I've been to a few places in Europe, and there's very much like a European quality to this city. Um, I'd be very curious about that. I've never been to Eastern Europe before, so I would be very curious about that. My art history professor lives in his old brownstone apartment. He lived across from a morgue. Wow, that's so crazy. Small world. Small world. Okay, anyway, that was the fortress accident tidbit, so...
Silence. No one's home at fortress accident.
That one's quite funny to hear after knowing about the Zaum ongoing controversy as well. But Revachol Ice City, that's gotta be the ice cream thing.
Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
Okay. Main hall building B, whirling in rags.
Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
Right, fair enough. East Delta Pinball, entrance from building B.
Silence. No one answers your call.
Empty card.
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Okay. Okay, so all that's left is a volition check, which is calling back Slipstream SCA.
Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger, healthier, and alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner.
Call her again. Press the doorbell to Slipstream SCA.
There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call. It's cold outside, and you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker. A strange metallic taste fills your mouth as you stare at the intercom.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Hi, it's me again. I wanted to talk to you.
My God.
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
Please don't hang up. I just want to explain myself.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice again.
One of the interesting things about this is that I feel that the voice actor is doing this sort of a transatlantic accent. I think it kind of creates the effect of being a voice that's like out of time or out of place. It's kind of reminded me, so I recently watched the very polarizing new lesbian episode of Black Mirror, which is Hotel Reverie. I don't really understand why it was so polarizing. I liked it. I didn't think it was like the best, most amazing, incredible thing ever, but I liked it, and I thought it had some really interesting elements to it. And Emma Corrin's performance in Hotel Reverie is pretty fantastic, and I think that might be one of the biggest reasons that anyone should have to watch it, and also lesbians. But I guess that it's one of the things in like Hotel Reverie is that she's like playing this old movie star that's like trapped in a like computer generated version of a movie that she used to star in. And obviously, like, Black Mirror's got the whole like sci-fi thing, and one of the other kind of main characters is like a present day or near future like actor, and the kind of like conversations that they have where one of them sounds like they're from the present and one of them sounds like they're from like another time, create quite an interesting effect at certain points. And I do like it. I like it as an episode. I think it's interesting. It has some interesting things going on in terms of like queer women's history in film, that I think are worthwhile. But yes, anyway, I feel that this actor feels like she's doing like a kind of a transatlantic accent, like, "Oh God, it's you. My God, I didn't think I'd hear your voice again."
Wait, is she...
Didn't you already say that the last time we talked?
Michelle, just please.
Yeah, I think she's definitely doing that on purpose. Even her breathing, the way her voice drops when she finishes the sentence sounds exactly the same.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
It doesn't matter what I say, you're just going to continue, right?
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling and echoing in the box. Your hands are getting cold and your breathing becomes visible, forming small silvery puffs in the air.
Is it over? Can we talk now?
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
Say nothing.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you.
You're a recording.
She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this.
Go ahead, ancient recording. Cry then.
Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going.
Keep listening.
A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds.
Is anyone there?
No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head.
For 300 years I have been here, volatile and luminous, made of sodium and rain. If you want me, you can find me on the beach. Dans la Zernebal.
What is happening to me?
The strange and alien thought pattern ends. You're left staring at the electronic doorbell.
Wow. Finally, Shivers is a woman. My woman, my woman. Yeah. You told Lena Morell is missing because of the Bertram portal lock. She's still worried he hasn't come back. Let Morell know if you see him. Search for the malignant entity. Plaisance said she lives in the chimney. Find a way in. Okay, let's do that. I appreciate the advice that you guys gave me earlier about getting shivers, because I think that has been a good shout. And I really dig weird shit, so I think getting Inland Empires and Shivers was a really good shout, especially because I was intentionally like looking for like Lynchian stuff or whatever.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Okay, so because I called Slipstream SCA again, I have a higher chance on this check, which is nice. Physical instrument check, yell hello into the furnace.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
you hear a woman's voice answer.
You've awakened the entity.
Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
Okay. Shivers and Inland Empire are two of Lynch's only brain cells, small but mighty. David Lynch lives on in Disco Elysium. All that remains of David Lynch is the two brain cells that were programmed into the game Disco Elysium. And in this way, David Lynch lives on forever. The wind howls in from the coal chute above. Okay. Well, I guess I have to find a way up. Where's my flashlight? Okay, this is where the is this Emma's atelier? Okay, yeah, this is where the team accident or whatever is. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
Well, I guess that it must have been the other company that the woman that we talked to on the recording was from, and then it became Slipstream. Which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
What a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still failed. How sad.
Reality is ruthless.
Okay. How do I find this curtain? go upstairs, further upstairs. Oh. Oh, I don't think I spotted this before. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Does someone live here? Thanks for stopping by, Evelyn. This tray is full of dice. Color. Oh, didn't read that in time. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Okay, I guess I can put my flashlight away. Behold my favorite character. Wow. Okay, Lala.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
She doesn't seem so malicious.
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Oh, I kind of wish Kim was here for this now, but that's okay. You know what, Lalin, approaching from behind, for some reason I thought it was going to be a man. And I was like, wow, can't relate. Favorite character, a man. But now we're good. Okay. What do you mean by milieu?
Yes, a milieu is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed. I must have missed you knocking.
No, she's a beautiful dice woman with a headscarf and headphones. That could never be a man. You're so correct. You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
No problem, Henry. Thanks for stopping by. Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Maybe. I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly.
How strange. Well, if you're interested, my rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
Okay, cool. Let's have a chat then. How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
She's thankful for the security they provide.
Aw, well, good for you. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here.
Seriously? You've got a great view of the courtyard and you didn't see or hear anything Sunday night?
I'm sorry, Detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops to try and come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it. And I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Where are we anyway? What is this place? Look around the room.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
Okay, interesting. Truly no better place to work than this fucking chimney. Oh my god, it's pretty... Yeah, I mean, and also she doesn't have to pay rent in this chimney. Like, where do I get to move into a chimney where I can make a little workshop and I don't have to pay anybody rent? I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
She nods as the wind howls in the furnace shaft above. How do you explain what happened to all those companies then?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
She's so fucking real for that. It's just capitalism. Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her?
Okay. Did Plaisance do some kind of witchcraft to fuck over all of the other businesses so that her business could do well? Is that what's going on here? And then the secret entrance to the doomed commercial district is in the back of her bookshop, and she didn't want anyone to go through the curtain, and she's like hiding it, and it's like her dirty little secret. Did she do some kind of witchcraft to fuck everyone else over so that her business could succeed? And then also that is a metaphor for capitalism. Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. But that's what's suspicious, right? Is that the bookstore shouldn't be doing well, but somehow it is doing well. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes again. Sooner or later, everyone will fail, even her. I don't know why the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's what I'm here to investigate. I think might choose that one because I'm suspicious of Plaisance right now.
Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Wow. The whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying bills.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it. It's because you're competent and dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people like you. That's stupid, by the way. Capitalism doesn't affect people. But capitalism affects people who are competent and dedicated to their craft all the time. It's not about whether you're good at your job or not. The curse will get to you, have no doubt about it. It just doesn't care about earthly time frames. I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse. Well, I'll just say what Plaisance thinks, because this isn't like a statement of my position on the situation. Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I think it still might be you that's causing this. No. I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and market fluctuations. Yeah, not to be, like, anti the spiritual interpretation of things, but I think in this case I'm kind of leaning towards the metaphorical interpretation of things, which is that it's just capitalism. Which, I mean, in its own way is a curse, right? I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
Not always.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Competitive free market manifest. Yeah, absolutely. Plaisance is the one who's done some kind of weird, evil manifesting. I'm sure of it.
Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
That's fine. Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar.
Slay.
They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
That sucks. Can't believe there was a cool gender neutral salon and it failed because of the internalized patriarchy of working class men. You guys, we gotta get over this patriarchy stuff if we want to be free.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would love
Shut
it.
up, physical instrument.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't
Thank you,
bad.
conceptualization. Wow. Okay, well, I'm not gonna say weird queerphobic stuff. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customers should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
She tucks a strand of hair under the scarf. Androgynous Orlando, though, I think is potentially a reference. So it might potentially be a reference to Orlando, the novel by Virginia Woolf. Orlando is kind of like a fictional biography of this person called Orlando, who is a man that mysteriously turns into a woman one day. It's a pretty significant piece of queer literature from the early 20th century, and Virginia Woolf wrote it as kind of like a exaggerated or fictional biography, inspired by her girlfriend, Vita Sackville-West. It's a very interesting novel. I'm a big Virginia Woolf fan. I'm going to put the disclaimer out there that if you're going to read Orlando, then you should probably know that it has some pretty heavy issues with Orientalism in parts of it. And I mean, I think arguably there's... I would say I've read a good bit of Virginia Woolf. I am a fan of hers, and I think that Orlando is probably the book where that is the biggest problem. But it is really interesting. And also there is a film adaptation of Orlando that is amazing and really worth checking out. Which, I mean, it also has some like Orientalism issues from the source text, but it's still cool and worth checking out. So, directed by Sally Potter, I think we're looking at the 1990s, starring Tilda Swinton as Orlando, obviously androgynous icon Tilda Swinton is absolutely fantastic in that role. Really, really good movie. Okay, what happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and
Aw, that's cool. What a shame. Who was Artemitep?
a kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Aw, it's a shame that it didn't work out. Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
I think you're right. How did that community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Oh, jeez.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Damn. Seems like these failed businesses were all epic queer community-oriented commie nerd shit, and Plaisance probably didn't like that either. I think you're right, Lalin. I think Miss exploiting my daughter for my business probably didn't like that either. What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on
Is
my
this what
own.
I think it is? What's a snuff milieu?
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real
Yeah.
murders with
Ugh.
real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
What does she mean to get off?
Oh my god, electrochemistry, read the fucking room. People do that?
people do that. I believe the ICP got them. They have a special division that deals exclusively with sub-rosas. In any case, I don't think it's your job to worry about what happens on Milius. I probably shouldn't have even mentioned it. Things like that are better forgotten.
Oh, I don't know. I think we need to confront how deep some of the horrors of our society goes, that people get off on hearing someone actually be murdered in real time. Just horrible, horrible stuff. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
Let it pass.
Anything else?
No, it's not true crime. It's just actual crime. Yeah, that's right. I found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know insects had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Wow. Listen, I don't think that you have to make clothes out of insects. I think you can find other ways of making clothes. So, I'm glad that someone took care of the little guys. I like insects.
Really? Anyway.
She looks at the windowsill where a dead fly is hanging on its back, legs curled up in a bow tie. I don't really think that actively killing any kind of animal when you don't need to is a good idea. I don't support that.
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
Empathy gets me. What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
What do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns. But Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house.
They were just props. Why return them?
Okay, there was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. I do want to hear about that.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Jesus.
And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back, disapproving.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritta does the same thing.
Yeah, she does. What did they expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear.
She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing her thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishell Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I killed the bear. You unplugged it.
You did what?
She rolls her swivel chair an inch closer to you, unsure whether she heard you right. I had to kill the bear to become the bear. I murdered it with my own bare hands. I laid it to rest as my trophy now. I unplugged the fridge to help Revachol Ice City cut their losses.
Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherium.
Wow.
Sounds cool.
What's a vision beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
Okay, I don't do drugs. I do drugs. I've got a vision beast myself. I don't have a comment on drugs. Grab your necktie and mumble. Not now, you beast. I don't have a comment on drugs.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly.
Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me.
She rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint line on her dusky skin.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So you're telling me that the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
Okay, I was wondering about the Whirling in Rags. Is it part of the same building complex?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
Well, I definitely feel some kind of darkness in the Whirling in Rags, so I'd believe it. I saw a name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice: don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick track, especially pinball.
What is floriography and trick track? I want to know more about that. But I can't ask about it, it seems. So, a strange thing happened when I tried calling a company called Strip Slim. Oh my god. Slipstream. SCA. Oh, hi Layla. Or my cat was sitting under the desk and I accidentally poked her. And she's very aggrieved. I didn't know you were there. I didn't know you were there, Layla. Okay. A strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the books.
She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics?
There's a moment before she recognizes the name.
It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
No, it was something else. It was eerie.
No, it was something else. Something eerie. Narrow your eyes.
Pranks can be eerie.
She looks as if she's still convinced it's nothing to be worried about.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
So true. Actually, the Slipstream, why can't I say that? The Slipstream SCA mystery might be a recording. I called again later and got exactly the same message.
Why would Slipstream SCA have a 100-year-old recording as their doorbell message? Doesn't make any sense. I'm still convinced it was nothing more than some elaborate prank.
Okay, gaslight gatekeep girl boss. I have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
Okay, I had other questions.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Okay, so it's a white check that I can retry later, so I'm gonna try a Shivers check. Why hasn't her business failed?
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Her name is Neha. Did she tell us her name earlier? I was trying to remember what her name was and I couldn't. This is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business has failed. Hasn't
Didn't
failed.
we already talk about this?
She asks as the wind continues to seep in through the cracks in the old chimney. It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guérin 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
No, this used to be a coal plant. Touch the safety curtains. You're in the chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense.
She looks around the makeshift nest and she has carved out for herself, bewildered.
Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
Let's just say I have my own methods. Unusual methods.
And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
It's true, don't be complacent. No one's ever really safe from the failure.
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
What?
Do you know what this is?
She raises her hand to reveal a piece of metal shining on her index finger. Your lucky charm? Some kind of award?
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
Okay. See, the curse is real. I bet you didn't run this little jewelry shop from the protective depths of the chimney. I don't know. Why are you telling me this?
It wasn't just a jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. It's entropy.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it.
You're right, Neha. The curse is capitalism.
That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending, or an entirely different world.
She picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light.
But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
She gives you a tired smile. Let's ask about her die.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Okay, so do you know the we're all untethered setting? I want to die for that. Do you have any cursed dice? Tell me about your most extraordinary die. I'm sorry, I don't actually know what I want. Just a very normal die for me, please. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what die I want.
How about an amber die?
Amber, a poor man's gold.
Who told you amber was cheap? It's beautiful, really, and has been treasured since the ancient times. For 7 real, I'll craft you a 13-sided die from a piece of amber with a fossilized insect. It's perfect for those who can't seem to let go of their past.
That sounds like me.
I had a feeling.
She smiles but says nothing more. It's a deal.
Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
Okay, well, I'm gonna need to have enough money for her, but yeah. Okay. Production schedule filament memory. The cube-like crisscross of the filaments feels oddly fragile in your hand, its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads production schedule. Note, this filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Okay. The sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes. Overhead, the ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist, vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. Okay, let me get my flashlight back out. Is this...
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
I feel like maybe the cube works with this?
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber. It's empty, like a beehive without its brood. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the
Perfect. Insert the production schedule.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Press play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter?
Well, I hope so. That sounds fun.
The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Elysium Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Huh. What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Right, thanks for the explanation.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Yes?
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. You should ask her for a hint.
A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
No.
Is it my birthday?
Still no.
This is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament. Now, can you please repeat the password?
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalogue before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
Wow, revolutionary? In what sense?
That's not bad.
And what's that, this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. What are you, a machine, or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Indian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are for stress accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Doesn't it get lonely doing this job?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do for stress accident.
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
The old lady's voice disappears along with the static.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Let's try print.
Nothing happens.
Okay, well, I need to find a way to find the password. But I think for now we've got to go to Plaisance and tell her what happened. I don't know how that's going to go down, but we shall see. Alright, lady.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Okay, so I talked to the entity that you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, ma'am. I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
I feel that you are the source of the doom, Plaisance, but we shall see.
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
Okay, we've got a few options, so let's read through them. She says there is no curse because there are just too many inconsistencies. She said it's just capitalism. Bankruptcy is a quirk of our economic system. Lie. The source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this place. I don't really want to say that lie. Honestly, I don't have an answer yet. There are still leads to be followed, like the strange radio computer thing. She said it's just capitalism. Bankruptcy is a quirk of our economic system.
Wait, what? The entire economic system is...
Yes, the entire economic system is cursed. That's correct.
This is a lot for her to pass.
Oh my god, okay. I'm afraid that only world revolution can help you. Yes, the system must be cleansed of immigrant labor. No, obviously not that one. It's true, we live in a precarious world. Nothing ever turns out right. You need to get used to the chaos. What I meant was, I found the source of the doom. Forget about the economy thing. No, I'm afraid that only world revolution can help you.
Another revolution?
She looks down at the pendant in her trembling hands. She collects herself.
I understand what's going on here. You went in there, rummaged around, and accomplished nothing. And now you're telling me these intellectual things to cover up for it.
Oh, Plaisance.
It's okay. You don't have to. I was wrong to trust another person. I will manage this psychic calamity as I always have. Alone. On my own. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
She concludes, tucking the pendant away in her blouse.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two, right?
Well, it's not my fault that she doesn't want to confront that we live in a society and that capitalism is evil, that capitalism is the real curse.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
Have you sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains.
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear, It's not enough.
Is your pendant part of the wards as well?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books.
Wow.
There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales. 15%.
Wow, this is a whole thing, huh? What about the wards on the back door? Are these Seminis as well?
Yes, the Simonees are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here.
Interesting. Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit.
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
She peers at the curtain again.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Ah, Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements.
Oh, plaisance. Plaisance, plaisance, plaisance. You just need to accept the word of Mazov and become a communist.
There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Sounds familiar.
Strange. I feel unwanted too. What does it mean?
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
Okay.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Hi, Annette.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yeah, I found a way into the doomed commercial area.
Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
Who is that? Point to the woman browsing books.
Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed.
She's your aunt?
No, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books.
Why is she distressed?
I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Okay. Composure check. I'm gonna deduce something now. Oh.
You fail to deduce anything substantial. She waits intently.
I'm sorry, I can't deduce anything.
It's okay, sir.
Literally the sorriest cop on earth achievement. Wow, love that for me.
You disappointed a small child. Well done, child.
Ugh. Okay. Well, that went swimmingly, didn't it?